Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Whenever you're tuning in, everybody, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. We're going to get started here with the live stream. I'm just in the middle of buying some Tilray and some Canopy Growth, so just give me 1 second here. Couple dozen people joining. Welcome, welcome. Don't mean to stall, but sorry, I got to take advantage of these fire sales. I'm currently buying some Tilray and some Canopy Growth, so just give me 1 more minute max. All right, second buy order in. So let me just make sure everything went through, it filled correctly. Perfect. All right, so just bought Tilray and Canopy Growth, bought it in my TFSA as well. I've used probably 60% of it now, my contribution for 2025. Just gonna write down here one thing from my notes. All right, awesome. All right, let's get started. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. It's Thursday, February 27th, the day that Canopy Growth hit 13 cents pre-split. Pretty crazy to think. Went from $60 a stock down to 13 cents, not factoring in the split. So I just had to make a quick note there. All right, let's jump into it. Tilray hit 76 cents? Yeah, 75 cents. So great idea, in my opinion, to start loading the boat. Been very patient, holding off on adding any to my tax-free savings account. Again, if you're not familiar with a tax-free savings account, it's exactly that. In Canada, you have a lifetime amount that you can contribute, and then once you max it out each year, you get an extra 65 to 7,000, 6,500 to 7,000. This year was 7,000 again. So I was just added to that. So like I said, I have about 55 to 60% of my TFSA used up for 2025. I've been very patient, something that I have learned all too well in the MJ space. So typically I make these live streams for private members in the Pow Group private community. And with everything going on, I was busy yesterday. Mr. Mankey, thank you for the donation there, super chat, really appreciate it. But yeah, with everything going on, I had a very busy day yesterday and a busy week really. And I wanted to come on and do a live stream because, like I said, I know a lot of people are probably freaking out at the moment. So we'll jump into, if anybody does have any ticker requests, we'll get into the Pow Group private community members first, and then VIP members on YouTube after that. And then if there's any time after that, we'll jump into any others. But I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. We'll take a look at the crypto space. The S&P 500 has been weak as well. We dropped to a daily lower low today, confirmed a daily downtrend as well with a lower high, lower low. So not looking great there. Definitely not getting any kind of tailwinds from the broader market. And yeah, here we are. We're approaching 82,000, the low of Bitcoin. But in my opinion, I think this is just a final shakeout. I don't think there's anything to worry about. The fear and greed index, if I just bring up the Pow Group private community here, and we'll check in on the news. Nothing major came in, but I posted this on crypto, in the crypto channel, that we're at 10 on the fear and greed index. That's not something that happens at the end of a bull cycle. Generally, we end in greed, right? So if we were seeing a blow off top in the end of the bull market in the broader market, big tech, crypto, AI, we would more than likely be pulling back, and fear and greed would be at the greed stage, right? We wouldn't be at the fear stage. Generally, like the sentiment hasn't been this low since C19, right? Which is insane to think about. The S&P 500 is like 4% away from all-time highs, and the fear is as high as it was back in C19 when it was at like 200, and SPY is at almost 600. doesn't really compute, does it? So this is why I think that this is just the final shakeout before the final blow off top. But I do think that big tech, crypto, AI coming, the game of musical chairs is coming to an end soon. But we're going to see the biggest rally that's going to completely shock the world, in my opinion, before that happens. So we'll jump into the SPY chart. Actually, we'll take a quick look at Bitcoin, see what we can see here on the daily time frame. Yeah, so an absolute bloodbath. We confirmed a weekly downtrend as well with a weekly lower high and lower low. It looks like a weekly bear flag as well. So if we remove a couple that we had a monthly bull flag, but it's a weekly bear flag now. So you just go from the high to the low there. You can see here that we barely got above the 0.382 fib, so it did confirm. And then we just take our measured move there on Bitcoin, move it out to our 0.32 fib, and it was saying we were targeting 82K, and that's exactly where we're at. So that technical analysis stuff definitely works if you know how to use the tools that were given to you. And it's not a guarantee, it's just probability. So it doesn't mean it's a end all be all. It's just about looking at something, a chart, right? Looking at a pattern, looking at something, an indicator, whatever it is, and then trying to get the most likely scenario. And the fact that we confirmed a weekly downtrend and the bear flag with an exact target of 82,000, you literally can't make this stuff up. So crypto, we'll take a look at the movers and shakers on the day today. So Solo, Quant, and IOTA leading the bear list today. Quant has been very, very strong though. We had a 15-minute bull flag on Quant, and it played out. We hit that target and then exceeded it. And here we are. We're back down to where we were before the big breakout of, wow, I can't believe it hit 112 bucks. Didn't realize it got that high. But yeah, we're not seeing like Litecoin, for example, right? You're starting to see some altcoins really start to steal the show here. Whereas Bitcoin has been consolidating on the weekly time frame, weekly downtrend, and weekly bear flag. We're actually near the highs on Litecoin. So I would say that a Litecoin ETF is probably going to be coming at some point soon. Songbird, Storage, and Casper leading the bull list today. Quick peek at XRP. So XRP is holding. I would say that we could see the Ripple case dropped, the appeal dropped at any point by the SEC, and then I think a settlement is most likely after that. Even John Reed Stark, the guy from 60 Minutes who was slamming XRP and Ripple, has basically said that he believes that the next on the chopping block is going to be the appeal versus Ripple in the SEC. So that would make a lot of sense, and then I think we're going to see a settlement after that, and it's going to be definitely in Ripple and XRP's favor. But yeah, weekly consolidation, no weekly downtrend yet on XRP, so very, very much different compared to Bitcoin. Already confirmed the weekly downtrend. What I'm looking at is the most important chart right now is the Bitcoin dominance. We're at very close to confirming a weekly downtrend. So key support is going to be 60.19%. Lose that, and it's a weekly downtrend confirmed. And then that will signal more than likely monthly consolidation into next month if it happens soon, within the next month or so. And then if we see monthly consolidation on Bitcoin dominance, that's when I think full-blown alt season is all but confirmed. Take a look at SPY here. So SPY, I heard somebody say to me yesterday, why is the stock market crashing so much? And I could not help but laughed. I'm like, you're telling me that we're 4%. Well, this was yesterday though. So like where we closed yesterday from the all-time high to where we closed, we were only down a little over 3%. I said, we're down 3% from all-time highs. And you're telling me that you think that this is a bad correction? The stock market is crashing. So from March 2020 lows to where we are now, we're still up 170%. And apparently the sky is falling. It's the end of the world, Armageddon, sell everything. We're still in a monthly uptrend, for Pete's sake. Like, oh my God, it's just so funny how people are so, if you look at the hourly chart, it's like, oh my God, this is, the Great Depression. But no, we could very well be going to a Great Depression style. And if that were to happen, which I think is very, very possible, that would be like a 50 to 60% correction. That would mean we'd be back into C19 March 2020 style, right? Prices. So, and I think that's very possible. But yeah, we ain't seen nothing yet. This thing, when it tops out, is going to easily pull back 20, 30%. And 3% is making people lose their ever-loving mind. That's pretty crazy to me. I would say spend more than 20 minutes learning about the stock market because, yeah, wouldn't say you put too much due diligence into it. Tesla, very, very weak. But again, got to put things into perspective here. We went from all the way down at $100 up to a new all-time high in a relatively short period of time. That was only 23 months. And we had no support on the monthly time frame. Still in a monthly uptrend as well. We had no support down to 182, and we're just looking for a higher low compared to 182, right? So again, when you know charts and you say, okay, let's say a month or two ago, you looked at this thing, right? Let's just say, we were here and we didn't have this candle right now. You'd say, okay, we've had a pretty solid move here. Just in like 8 months, we're up 250% new all-time highs. Where's our next support? So let's say on this candle here in December, you're saying, okay, our next support is all the way down at 182. We haven't consolidated now in 5 months. Might we be due for a pullback soon? And then sure enough, we start a monthly consolidation after breaking the 2 monthly inside bars bearish. And here we are down 24%. But again, we had no support from the high there to our last monthly support. We could drop 63% and still be in a monthly uptrend. So that's exactly why you need to know charts and technical analysis. And if you don't, or you don't care to know, join a community of people who do, so that they can put things into perspective for you, right? We could pull back 63% on Tesla, still be in a monthly uptrend. Most people, that's Chinese or whatever kind of language they don't speak to them. But yeah, it's all but obvious once you understand, right? MJ. So yeah, for people joining late to the party, I did add Canopy Growth and Tilray just now. I was a little bit late starting the stream, and while I started the stream, I was actually in the middle of buying it. And again, I bought it in my TFSA. So I don't know how long I've been shouting from the rooftops that Tilray was going to be seeing a drop down to around 87 cents, the descending triangle. We hit that. And I mentioned in a video not too long ago that I didn't think that the end was near. I said we had another daily bear flag targeting 77 cents, but I said in the recent video, I think it was the 87 cent bottom one. I said, I don't think that's going to be the bottom. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 75 to 50 cents because we still haven't seen the reverse split FUD. We still haven't gotten the warning from the NASDAQ. CGC was also a daily bear flag, and we were nowhere close to hitting it when I made that video. And we had a target of $1.32, which is 13 cents pre-split when you think about it. $60 stock down to 13 cents, pretty crazy. But post-split, it's $1.32, and we're currently at 141. So we came within, we're about 5.5% away. And then another reason why I was confident in saying that Tilray was probably going to see 75 to 50 cents was because MSOS still hadn't hit its daily bear flag target yet of 306 in the descending triangle. So that gives you confluence, multiple things saying the same tune. And then weekly time frame, we had a weekly bear flag, and we're confirming it. And the target is 222. So this week, new all-time low is 311. So we're still 28% away. Do I think that that's the most likely scenario? Probably not, but sweet baby Jesus. Anybody, no one can tell how far this is going to drop from here. And then, yeah, even with Green Thumb's amazing earnings and True Leaf's amazing earnings, like 62% gross margin, we barely went up today. Like from the high of yesterday to the high of the day on True Leaf, the stock was up 3% on amazing earnings, right? So again, this tells you that the sector doesn't trade on earnings. It could care less. And I could care less. Who cares about earnings? The biggest economy in the world is still not open for business yet, right? Like it's still federally illegal at the federal level. That's like looking at Tesla stock and trying to gauge the earnings report in 2018. Every analyst on Wall Street was telling you, don't buy Tesla. It's the worst run company. They make less cars in a year than Toyota makes in the month. They'll never be profitable. They're burning cash like crazy, but they don't understand disruptive technology and how early it was in terms of the market growth. So again, not trying to compare, it's kind of apples to oranges here, but what I'm comparing is not Tesla in the electric vehicle industry to Schedule 1 illegal drugs in the US and MJ. What I'm comparing is the growth curve and trajectory on those two sectors and where we were in the growth story. So just like the dot-com days, right? Where were we in 2000 when the dot-com bubble happened, right? We were at maybe 5% growth in the internet boom, right? Not even, right? So MJ, I would again compare not to the tech companies or not to electric vehicles. I'm comparing it to the growth curve, where we are in the adoption cycle, right? So right now, I would say MJ is maybe 1%, 2% into the growth story, right? Once the U.S. legalizes at the federal level and deschedules it, potentially deschedules it, similar to what happened in Canada and the U.S., then it's going to be another 5 to 10 years from there minimum, in my opinion, before we find out who the blue chip players are, right? Like the clear winners and losers. So what's the point of even looking at these earnings reports right now? It's really kind of silly. And I have these arguments back and forth with people all the time. It's just because I've been through the ringer. I've seen it before, right? I've even seen it with Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have any cash flow or any intrinsic value. Well, that doesn't matter, right? That's not what matters at the end of the day, right? It matters supply and demand and speculation, and doesn't have a use case. And one can say that Bitcoin doesn't have as big of use case as some of these other cryptos, which I'm one of those people. But you can't fight the market, and the market speaks for itself. And as of right now, I know it's frustrating. ACB, case in point, we were talking about this in the POW Group private community today. Amazing earnings report, amazing stock reaction. But if the whole sector is still bearish, doesn't matter. Stock is down now 25%, could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, daily downtrend. So we might give this whole move. We might even fill the gap there at 371, right? So it doesn't matter if you have great earnings or not. And then some people are saying, well, okay, earnings do matter because ACB is down way less since the highs of February 2021 to current prices. Okay, well, that might be true. It's just, it was shittier for longer. And now it's slightly less shitty compared to the other companies who are becoming more catching up to Aurora's shittiness, right? So for example, from Aurora's all-time high to the all-time low, it was down 99.8%. Okay. So Tilray, people are saying, well, it's dropping to lower lows while ACB is still hovering above its all-time lows. Okay. Well, let's go to the all-time high at $300 for Tilray to current prices. 99.7. Oh, so it's still down less than Aurora, right? Aurora has been shittier for longer. And like I said, they're catching CGC and Tilray are catching up to Aurora's caliber of shittiness. So, when you're that shitty for that long, it doesn't take you that long to recover. And then, a good earnings report can help. But I mean, it's still down terribly, right? And who cares? Who cares about the earnings? I really don't. Like, I could care less. It'd be like 1% of my zero, part of me that gives 0 Fs, right? Like, why would I care about the earnings when Germany's just starting to, like, look at the growth that's coming, the numbers that are coming out of Germany, Switzerland, like what was another, Costa Rica, I think there was one other country in the EU that had some sort of reform. I can't remember right now. You're seeing all these countries in the EU, and it's going to just continue from there. The US is on the cusp of rescheduling, potentially safer banking, and major reform in the US. So why in the ever-loving hell am I going to be too worried about? It bothers me that people are looking at this and they're using value investing principles. Value investing principles is literally a conservative approach. Why are you going to the most riskiest asset class next to crypto and using value investing? If you want to value invest, go buy Coca-Cola. Like, what are you doing here in MJ? It makes absolutely no sense. You can compare this to the early days of Amazon, the early days of Tesla, right? The numbers didn't make sense. It didn't add up. That's why every analyst on Wall Street that you tuned into said, don't buy Tesla because the valuation doesn't make sense. They're never going to be profitable, right? But they don't know how to understand an emerging and a disruptive market and where we are in the growth curve. And right now, we're not even 5% along the growth story for MJ here. But ACB, CGC, and Tilray leading the decline today. And on the bull list, we have Avicana, Cron, and PLTH. And case in point, Cron didn't even have that great of earnings. And it's up 8%. And TCNNF and GTBIF, Green Thumb and Trulieve, only 3 and 5% respectively. So Cron almost 10%. It had an okay report, right? I mean, it had a pretty big miss in terms of revenue, but only 30 measly million, right? Trulieve had like 1.2 billion for 2025 or for 2024, sorry. And then, here's where it's a surprise beat there in terms of positive 11 EPS. That's why the stock was seeing a decent response here, but you could not get any better earnings than TCNNF and GTBIF. And here is Cron stealing the show today, percentage-wise. So I digress, but I could care less what anybody can come to me with any argument that they have with regards to earnings, and I don't agree with it, because like I said, if I would have listened to all the people who said don't buy Tesla because of how earnings I'm using all these value investing principles, and I'm dissecting their earnings in 2018, and this company is going bankrupt. There's no point on even looking at it or consider buying a position. And I knew it was all bullshit, right? Knew it was bullshit. And then I made life-changing wealth on Tesla. Did I sell it way too early? Absolutely. But, I'm glad I didn't listen to, the people who are experts and value investors, because they're doing it all wrong. Again, why are you going to the most risky? It's literally the most high risk sector next to crypto. Why are you using value investing principles? Especially, I can understand in 5 to 10 years from now, whenever we hit a full blown maturity level in the sector. But why are you looking at earnings reports now? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But again, I digress. All right, we'll jump into the Pal Group private community. Just see if we have any ticker requests. Litecoin, yeah, we can take a look at Litecoin for Chris. No problem at all. Yeah, Litecoin's really starting to heat up here. Like I said, Bitcoin dropping to weekly lower lows, monthly consolidation, and then if we bring up LTC on the monthly time frame, we're near monthly highs, right? So we're at the high of last month almost, whereas Bitcoin is dropping to a monthly lower low. But yeah, as of right now, we're just looking for a monthly uptrend. So we have our low, high, higher low. We need the higher high. We're close to doing it. And like I said, I think very good chance that Litecoin's the next in line for an ETF, spot ETF in the US, SEC. But daily time frame, yeah, still, we lost the daily uptrend. Still need to confirm a daily uptrend at this point. Pretty choppy on that time frame. Most important, though, is the monthly. Need to confirm that monthly uptrend. Stochastic and MACD, we had a bull cross there, still above the 10-week moving average. And here's the kicker here. So look at the 50 and the 200 weekly. Very close to seeing that cross. Last time that bull cross lined up, price went from $29 all the way up to $413. So just imagine what happens this time if we get ETFs and legislative clarity and clear rules of the road, stablecoin, market structure bill in the US. Daily time frame for Litecoin, still above all of our daily moving averages, just had a golden cross. Looks like toward the end of 2024, but no major red flags here whatsoever, still above all of our daily and weekly moving averages. But yeah, this is the biggest kicker here. We still have yet to see the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average cross. And generally, that will happen after price explosion, right? Similar to what XRP did. So if you take a look at XRP, big move and then the bull cross, then we see a consolidation period, and then I'm expecting another wave higher. So same thing with Litecoin. We should see a pretty big explosion here before too long, I would think in the next few weeks. And then we should see that cross, a bit of consolidation, and then another wave higher, in my opinion. These are lagging indicators, right? When you're using any kind of exponential moving average or moving average, they track the price. So they're lagging indicators, right? Because you're feeding the price into it. So therefore, it lags. All right, jumping in. It's a hard life out there. Wish to see Tilray rise. Yeah, it's hopefully that helps though. Though Chris, let me know. Yeah, it's been brutal, right, Mr. Mankey? I know. At the end of the day, there's some people that just won't recover from this, right? Like there's people that are just down and out. So 77 cents hit, 75 cents. I mentioned this forever ago, literally on the video, the thumbnail that had 87 cents. Is that the bottom, which was the descending triangle target? I said, I don't think so. And then we confirmed a daily bear flag with a target of 77 cents. And even then I said, I think we're going to see 75 to 50 cents because again, MSOS still had a $3 target and now it has a 222 target with a weekly bear flag, which means another 20% of downside. And again, CGC had a target, bear flag target of 132, and we're getting close. But yeah, this is generally what you see near the end, right? Is a big flush down. And here we are, we're seeing that flush. but not completely sold on the fact that this is done yet. Big tech, crypto, AI continues to steal the show, and we still haven't seen the blow off top there yet. So I will expect MJ to recover soon. I would say, we'll see a pretty big relief rally soon, but we're not going to see, 52-week highs or all-time highs across the sector until big tech, crypto, AI stops stealing the spotlight, in my opinion. Humberto, hi Rod, could you please check CGC and BB, BlackBerry? Haven't heard of that one in a while. So yeah, CGC mentioned daily bear flag target of $1.32. The low here, 140. So we're 8 pennies away. Take a look here on the weekly time frame. Yeah, we're gearing up for a stochastic and a MACD bull cross, but still flat. Just flatlining hasn't really done much. Still well below the 10-week moving average. So a lot of work to do there. Yeah, and we could see a 50 and a 100 weekly moving average bull cross, but likely a couple weeks away before that happens. But generally we start to trend back towards these moving averages. And if we were to start to trend back toward the 50, that would be around $5. Unless you think CGC is going to completely go to zero and never recover, I would bet that we're probably going to be heading back to that 50 weekly moving average over the coming months. And just like Don Murphy said, the president has more priorities right now, and I've been saying for months and months and months, no one cares about Canada like MJ right now, right? They're gonna focus on big tech, crypto, AI. Literally, they created a crypto and AI czar in the U.S. after the new administration came in. They didn't create an MJ czar, right? They created a pardon czar, but that could be a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's clear that crypto and AI are stealing the show. No wonder, right? We're talking crypto is going to be a $50 to $100 trillion market. MJ will struggle to get to 1 trillion. So at 1% of what the crypto market could be. And now there's talks of, the U.S. paying off the U.S. debt, like 30 some trillion dollars in debt with crypto, right? You'll never do that with MJ, right? You'll create some jobs and some tax revenue and cut some wasteless spending and enforcement actions, but you're not going to pay off the U.S. debt with MJ, okay? Let's call a spade here. But yeah, daily time frame still well below all of our daily moving averages. It's going to be at least a couple months before we see a golden cross there, I would think, on the daily time frame. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do on CGC. Let's take a look at our lower level time frames here. Yeah, we confirmed a daily bear flag targeting 132, and now we have an hourly bear flag. So we go from here, from the high to the low. Perfect bear flag too, right? Anything under 154 was a bear flag. We hit 154 and didn't get above it. It was perfection. Literally, you can't make this stuff up. I don't know how people don't understand that don't believe in technical analysis. So if we have a daily bear flag saying 132, we just confirmed an hourly bear flag saying 136. Well, when we were at 154, what do we think is the most likely scenario? Well, in order to confirm the hourly bear flag, we needed to confirm a break below 147. So once we lost 147, knowing that there's a daily bear flag, knowing that there's an hourly bear flag confirming, of course you're going to think we're going to be seeing 136, 132. And then MSOS with a weekly bear flag target of 222 and a target of 306. Just the other day it hit 311. And same thing with Tilray, bear flag. So again, like the writing was on the wall. Hopefully that helps. Got to start wrapping it up. FEB, so yeah, BlackBerry. Decent move, but fell off a cliff here in the last few weeks or a couple weeks. And it's a daily bear flag here on BlackBerry. And we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well. That would be the first time since back in October. So very high probability of this playing out, in my opinion. But again, it's not about what we think is going to happen. It's about data and logic and support and resistance. So key support is going to be 463. Lose that, then daily bear flag confirmed. Then you just take your measured move from the high to the low, and that gives you your measured move of 390. So if we lose key support there at 463, all about support and resistance, then it confirms. In order to negate it, we need to get above 525. Break 525, then we're no longer expecting another leg down. But like I said, with the potential for a daily downtrend, bear flag, and EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, first time since October, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we were to confirm it and head back down to 390. Also closed at the low of the day today. The market just closed 4 minutes ago. So you can use your brain here and say, okay, we closed at the low of the day. We're close to a daily downtrend and bear flag, and EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, first time since October. One would think we're probably going to confirm it, and the S&P 500 week as well. So not looking great, but on the weekly time frame here, what a move. See again, and here's another example. We had no weekly support on BlackBerry down to 229. All this move was a higher low every single candle, meaning the second you break it, you could easily see 20 to 30% pullback. And from the high here, we're already down 26%. Imagine that, right? This just comes with experience, but we're still in a weekly uptrend. Low, high, higher, low, and higher, high. So no major red flags whatsoever. Monthly time frame, I bet you we barely even made a dent. Yeah, we barely even did anything. But again, no monthly support all the way down to $2. So we could easily come back to around 350, 345, backtest monthly EMA 12, and then look to confirm a monthly uptrend. No longer in a monthly downtrend with a break of this lower high, lower low pattern, but we still need to form a higher low and a higher high to be back in a monthly uptrend. So lots of work to do, but solid move here. Stochastic just crossed bearish. MACD on the cusp of a bear cross and set to lose potentially the 10-week moving average. I'd be very cautious. If you're looking for entries on BB, I'd be patient. We also have the 100 weekly there at 355, so a lot of support in that range. Also going to be at least a few months before we see a 50 and a 200 weekly moving average bull cross. Daily time frame. Yeah, we have the 100 there at 343 again. So a lot of support in that 350, 340 range. Would not expect the 50-day moving average to hold up in a big way here. Hopefully that helps. Pretty crazy stuff, says Mr. Mankey. We'd like to see just MJ turn around and grow here soon in March. Would be a nice before March 23rd. My birthday, mine's March 15th. So March babies. Happy early birthday. Tilray's warning will be received the day before my birthday. Would be hella crazy to see it above $1. My B-day would be so nice. Can you take a look at PEY? Yeah, we can take a look at PEY. And again, I'm not skipping people's comments. I didn't have a whole lot of time today, so I wanted to come on and give Power Group private members the first kick at the can, and then VIP members on YouTube after. So PEY, I think this is what you were referring to. If you don't let me know the exchange, sometimes there's multiple tickers with the same on different exchanges, right? With the same ticker. So, but yeah, this is daily time frame. We're confirming a daily downtrend here with a lower high, lower low, which means zoom out to the weekly, look for weekly consolidation, and that's exactly what's set to occur here potentially. Yeah, key support last week, 2171. After that, a lack of support until 2075. And we're at the risk of a weekly downtrend here as well. We almost confirmed a weekly uptrend, but failed. Double top, essentially, bull trap, and set to potentially see more downside from here. Monthly time frame, monthly inside bar broke bullish, but again, that's because a weekly uptrend almost confirmed. When you confirm a weekly uptrend, it means monthly bounce. Confirm a weekly downtrend, it means monthly consolidation, and then same with other level time frames. But I know it's kind of confusing, but believe me, after like 5 years, it'll start to make sense. It's like riding a bike, right? It's like for the first, like, I don't know. Some people quicker learners than others, and some people never learn how to ride a bike. It's like some people never learn how to swim, but a lot of that has to do with fear too, right? But yeah, Death Cross lining up potentially here, not looking too hot. Mankey. Yeah, riding a bike sometimes it can take months and months and months for people to learn, right? And I would argue that having a experience with a chart, looking at technical analysis, it's like years. Like it can take. I remember like studying it all day, every day. I didn't have somebody to like kind of like coach me like I'm doing right now, especially in the Power Group private community, like one-on-one and things like that. But I kind of just learned everything on my own and trial and error. But it took me multiple years before the light bulb really clicked in. And even when the light bulb did click, I was like, I think I understand what I'm talking about. But then I really didn't. And then, it all just clicked one day. Yeah, still in a monthly uptrend though. Low, high, higher, low, and higher high. We're just looking for a monthly higher low compared to 1922. So no major red flags here whatsoever. All right. Invest a high yield equity dividend achievers ETF. Yeah, exactly. I think that's high yield dividend. Yep. The flamethrower is hitting me hard today, but will feel good to survive and the greatest recovery of all time. You remember that analogy, right? That's funny. All right, so we'll skim through this real quickly here. I'm not going to have any time to do any ticker requests, unfortunately. I do have to get going here. Any additional ones to that, but we'll go through here. I'm buying Oxley. Nice. Yeah, I was buying Oxley around a penny or 2 pennies, but oh man, we're at 7 cents. Yeah, so lots of names drop into all-time lows and 52-week lows. And here's Oxley at 50. This got to be close to a 52-week high, isn't it? Yeah, 11 months. So yeah, we're at 52-week highs. And we're almost confirming a monthly uptrend. So that's looking really, really good. Love's another one, right? 138. Yeah, we're at the high of the day today. We're 32% away from all-time highs. And guess what? It just did a reverse split. But I thought reverse splits only go to zero and go to bankrupt. I thought it was impossible for them to recover and go back to all-time highs. Especially if they're an MJ stock. Well, what about INSG, which is a 5G play? It did a 1-for-10 reverse split. Oh, and then it did what? Oh, it went up 1,200% after. 12x, $1,000 into 12,000. Just having some fun. All right, I bought Oxley. Yeah, can't go wrong there. KDLI, I'll have to skip. We'll do another public YouTube live stream at some point soon. I wanted to come on, dedicate this mostly for members and just kind of give my thoughts and opinions. Normally I make these private, so it wouldn't have even been public at all. And I try to keep them around 30 to 40 minutes, and we're almost at 40 minutes. So here we go. Wow, yeah, lots of people saying buying more Tilray and MSOS now. Yeah, I bought Tilray and CGC at the beginning of the video. Hi, Rod. What is Tilray's next support level? You're looking at 75, which we just hit. So really psychological at this point. 50 would be the next one. 50 cents. Watch Oxley boom after Q4 earnings. Yeah, I'm excited. They have a conference call coming up too in a couple weeks. Gonna be looking forward to that, or like an event. I can't remember. I'll have to look into it, but I shared it to Power Private community members and on X as well, I believe. So, what's been going on with the cost to borrow Tilray in the last few days? I'm not too sure on that one, Nick. Rod, do you think Tilray will go 180 days, then ask for additional 180 days before reverse splitting, or do you think Tilray would make the stock run a year before reverse splitting? Yeah, it's a good question, Claudio. No one has a crystal ball, but I would put the odds of a reverse split maybe at like 50-50 at this point. I don't think it'd be end of the world. Remember, Aurora did 2 reverse splits and posted good earnings, and everybody's like, oh, Aurora is the stock to own. It's the best stock ever. So I don't think reverse split matters, right? Logic goes out the window once a few days pass, right? Memory of a goldfish, most people. So somehow Aurora, after a 99.8% drop and 2 reverse splits, once they have a decent earnings report, people think that they're the end all be all. So I always joke, maybe Tilray needs to just do 2 reverse splits back to back, and then we can join the likes of Aurora. I bought OGI, CGC, and Tilray today, says Jam. Very nice. Yeah, can't go wrong with those, in my opinion. Curaleaf's another steal, in my opinion. OGI, CGC are new positions. Average Tilray down, expecting a bounce tomorrow. Very nice. Yep. CGC, where's target? 132 is the next target. USD, all-time low, and Tilray hit exactly 75 cents on the dot. Yep. Same thing. How about CGC? Already covered that. Jam said this has been the worst month ever for MJ. Absolutely. Worst year, worst month, worst day. Probably not the worst day. FFS, can you look at Verano? What do you think about Verano? I'm not a big fan of Verano, to be honest. I don't own them, but I'll have to look at. We'll have to do that another time. Like I said, I got to run. Wanted to only come on for about 30-40 minutes, and we're already exceeding 40 minutes here now, basically. So, but I'd just be cautious. Maybe they can pull it together. I would say they're probably going to get acquired by another company at some point. Tashi says, more than earning, I get stressed when negative news comes on. MJ moment about cabinets, reversing, rescheduling, etc. That's how everything is to land under Trump. Yeah, you have to remember that all the bearish articles come out at the end of the bear market, and all the bullish ones come out at the top of the bull market, right? It's the opposite. They want to get everybody and their dog bullish when you should be selling, and they want to get everybody bearish at the bottom when you should be buying, right? So it is what it's. Again, if you're, most people who are in MJ don't know anything else. They were never in crypto. They were never in big tech. They were never in AI. They were never in electric vehicles. Most people that come into MJ are just diehard MJ fans. They don't know anything about finance or about markets and boom and busts and things like that, right? So when they say, oh my God, he's comparing Tesla to MJ. What an idiot. But I'm not. I'm comparing the growth curve and the adoption cycles, right? And the emotional aspect of it and the boom and bust cycles. And it's all the same. Like, you look at it, any of them, right? The same thing will happen with psychedelics. Any new emerging industry, right? Same thing's happening in AI. Crypto momentum is shifting to altcoins. I agree. No, it ain't. Everything is crashing. Yeah, I mean, not really though, right? Like again, LTC. It's all about when in doubt, zoom out. Litecoin is the highest it's been since, well, in December it hit 147. The last time it was at 147 before that was in February of 2022. We're at $125. So from the highest we've been since 2022, we're only down 15%, right? And in the since August, we're up 150%. So it's all about perspective, right? You can cherry pick a time frame, whatever, but compared to most names, it's actually, it's that wouldn't hold true. You can't say that Litecoin's crashing. We're down 14% from the highest it's been since 2022, after just going up 150%. All about perspective. Altcoins follow BTC. Yeah, they do until they don't, right? Until Bitcoin dominance starts to break down, altcoins are going to absolutely explode. And again, XLM was probably the best example. XLM from August to November, it was up 731%. Okay, so let's go to Bitcoin from August to November. It was up about 120%, right? So yes, it follows it. They were both following the same, momentum, but altcoins will see way more percentage gains. But yeah, they do follow it, but expect altcoins to absolutely leave Bitcoin in the dust percentage-wise. But we don't want Bitcoin coming down here and losing like 50K and 40K. There's no way alts are going to continue that way. What you want is Bitcoin price going up, but Bitcoin dominance going down. That means mega bull run for alts. Do you have any target prices for MJ, BTC going back to 60K? I'd be cautious on that one. I think it will go back to 60K. It's just, I think it'll probably go to like 120, 140 before it goes to 60, but we'll see. Do you have any targets on prices for MJ stocks, Tilray, SNDL? I think I already went over that. Jam, Rod, you made a change to your tune on MSOS about fees or something. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, MSOS is down like 80, 90% from all-time highs. So basically you're giving this ETF money to manage your 80 to 90% loss. So why are you, I think enough people are down 80, 90%. I don't need to pay an ETF provider money to manage my money and to manage my 80% loss, right? Like, I'd rather just pick an individual stock. Again, if you're not somebody who's going to put in thousands of hours of research, then, maybe buy MSOS. But personally, I'd rather just pick the individual names. Cybin, please. Psychedelic. Yeah, I know that company. I'll have to jump into that at the next. I'm actually looking to add Cybin, so maybe I'll do another video specifically on that. That's a good idea, Brad. Put into pay and all of my credit card, extra cash I got off Robinhood card. So eventually when I spend, I'll get what I get back in dividends. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know a few people with the Robinhood card. CGC 136 or 132, which is it? So 136 is the hourly bear flag target and 132 is the daily bear flag target. So I'm going to go with 132. Hey, Rod, hope you're doing well. Lingering in the house. You were spot on for Tilray for that 77-cent mark. Yeah, it hit 75%, and I mentioned that in my video as well, right? And I gave my reasoning for it. So if you go to my channel here, click on videos, scroll down. It was this one here, Tilray Brands, 87 cents USD, the bottom. I said in that video, I don't think so. And then I did another video, this was a week ago, saying another bear flag target, 77 cents USD. But in this video, I think I mentioned it here initially. If not, I definitely mentioned it again in this one here. So if you check that one out, I gave you a week heads up that I thought that, well, it's not that I thought, it's the charts were saying 77 cents. I could care less, right? Well, actually, if it were up to me, I would say I want it to go to $77, right? But again, it has nothing to do with I want or don't want. I'm coming on here and reading, trying to keep an unbiased perspective and trying to read the charts and say what I see in the charts, right? Without being that's why I don't really like trend lines, because you can easily change things very easily to manipulate your own bias, right? But in this video, I said 77 cents USD was the next target. And I even said, I think 75 cents to 50 cents is possible, because MSOS still had a target of $3 and then a weekly bear flag of 222, which we still have yet to hit. And I said in that video as well that CGC was a potential daily bear flag. And if we zoom into the daily time frame here, we were still a ways away. 132, we just hit 140, so we're still a ways away. Closed at the low of the day today. Probably going to see more downside into tomorrow. S&P 500 closed week, so not good. Lingering donates $5 super chat. Thank you very much. You're keeping me on here. May not be the best day in the market overall, but I appreciate your input and information. No, my pleasure. Well, you know, a lot of these YouTubers, they only come on when it's beneficial to them. They only cover a sector when it's beneficial to them. Most YouTubers, like myself included, my videos don't even get monetized the second I start talking about MJ, right? Because it's censored. So when that's the case, you know that I'm not just on here for views or for money or for subscribers and likes and all that crap, right? Like I'm here through the thick and the thin, and people need like reassurance and like, you know, if somebody wants to follow me on YouTube, great, you know, take my information with a grain of salt, do it, you know, don't buy or sell anything based on anything I say. This isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, as I always say. But, you know, if you are looking for somebody on YouTube to kind of give you reassurance and to be that voice of reason, well, I'm going to be here in the thick and the thin. I'm going to be here in the bad times more than I am in the good times, because you don't need to come on here and watch YouTube videos when prices are at all-time highs, right? You're like, this is awesome. You know, I don't need reassurance and assistance or, you know, a second opinion. I'm a genius, right? It's when there's blood in the streets and things are down 80, 90%, that you generally like to come on and hear these videos. So if everybody, you know, like most people don't want to sound like an idiot. They don't want to be covering MJ stocks because they're down 80, 90%. But again, if you don't understand where we are in the growth curve, then you shouldn't be investing in MJ in the first place. But I appreciate it, and it goes both ways, right? Like I feel the pain, and I'm human too. So I'm down 60% 1 year. MJ Tilray, yeah, it's brutal. Like Green Thumb Raging Gun is down 60% since April, and they just had the best earnings ever. This is why I don't care about any earnings. Like, okay, you can make the argument that, oh, but the earnings they do matter a little bit, right? I don't care if it matters a little bit. Like, what matters a lot and the most is the growth. We're not anywhere close to seeing max growth, right? And mass adoption. So yeah, from April, Green Thumb with amazing earnings is down 60%. And that's what? Just since April, that's 10 months, not even a year. Ligri says, I watched both videos. Okay, great. Glad it was helpful. So the MJ bleeding is nearly finished, and by summer we'll be back to the up booming. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement. I would love $77. Yeah. After that 13 million buy imbalances a few days ago on Tilray, I'm confident something is brewing and probably won't even see a reverse split. Yeah, I think it was just classic manipulation, right? Just a way for market makers to load up. It was even showing like, what was it? Was it Vanguard and Morgan Stanley or something like that? They were loading up. And funny that big buy came right after that video that I made, right? So again, if you scroll down to my video, where was it? Yeah, it was Goldman Sachs and Vanguard increase ownership in Tilray. And then we had that big pop last Friday. So the big boys and girls are loading up. And then we had that big spike on Friday, and then price went right back down, right? It's a way for them to accumulate without moving the price, right? It's just manipulation, in my opinion. Nice. I do more trades than holding at this time, so that info is very helpful. Absolutely. Yeah, like I'm a big believer in time in the market is better than timing the market. So, you know, when we're near all-time lows and 52-week lows, I'd rather just buy and hold. But if we're at 52-week highs and all-time highs, I'd rather time the market, right? Do more trading. So, you know, when we're at 52-week highs and all-time highs across the MJ sector, then I'll go back to more the shorter-term trades and more trading. But right now, I'm just parking my money. Similar to what I did in crypto in 2019, I just bought and hold, and now I'm getting to that point where I'm almost ready to sell and start to do more short-term swing trades, day trades. Rod, are you getting more Tilray? You said Rob, but I think you meant Rod. Are Are you adding more Tilray here? Yeah, I added some before. I was actually adding it as I started this live stream, and I added some Canopy Growth as well. Added PXT, SES. Thank you for all your efforts. You bet. Dude, I'm down 60%. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yep. I'm crying daily. Well, no need to cry. I know it's brutal, but just learn the lesson and move on, right? 200 Canadian came 7. Yeah. I would be careful. Check out my video about investing in MJ. Might take you a while to find it. If I come across it, I'll let you know. But 5 to 10% of your net worth rule. So if you are putting any more than 5 to 10% of your net worth into one sector, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. And if you're putting 5 to 10% of your net worth into one stock, you're definitely doing it wrong. So if 200K, if your net worth isn't in the millions, then I don't think you should have any business putting 200K into one stock or one sector. So hopefully you got a net worth of like $5 million. If not, then I think you broke the golden rule, investing more than you were willing to lose probably. And that might be why you're crying as well. So again, I'm not trying to be that person who's I told you so or anything like that. I'm just trying to be tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, right? And I think people get enough fluff from other channels. I got extremely lucky on that imbalance last week for Tilray. Bought shares prior and it spiked. I sold. Best shit I've ever taken. Goldman Sachs, Morgan, and Vanguard did not load up in the intent of a reverse split. No, they loaded up near all-time lows and buying fear and greed. You load when there's blood in the streets, right? That's what smart investors do. They don't load up at all-time highs and when the price explodes, right? I'm not worried. I got 3 years. I'll sell a 200K chunk of poo for 700K in 2027. Tilray's tangible book value is 63 cents per share. Will likely represent the absolute floor. Yeah, I think somewhere around that 75 to 50 cent makes sense. 2028 and some in 2029. People should stop freaking out. Educate yourselves. Once you have the knowledge, you'll have better control over your emotions. Of course, I broke the golden rule. Yeah, exactly right. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. Rod is a big example. Very educated individual tells you what you need to hear, not what you want. That's exactly what I just said. Thanks, Jam. Tilray is earning 83 cents per share. You can buy it for 76 cents. Yeah. Yeah, we can get into all the price to earnings, book value, all that stuff. Really doesn't matter at the end of the day. This is a speculation market, and we're barely into any growth, right? Like the sector, we're still not even legal in the biggest economy in the world yet. So how can we be valuing these companies accurately? It's like trying to value the internet companies and the tech companies back in 2000 accurately. It just wouldn't make any sense. And that's why Warren Buffett missed all of them. He missed Bitcoin. He missed all of them, right? Because he couldn't accurately use investing principles, right? The traditional conservative value investing principles. That's why he missed all of the biggest opportunities ever. But he's investing billions of dollars. So even if he makes 20, 30, 40% investing billions, well, he makes billions, right? Do you have billions that you can invest? If you were, you probably wouldn't be putting it into MJ, right? He just bought $1.4 billion worth of Constellation brand stock, sparked a bunch of, speculation that it might be, indirectly because of Canopy Growth investment, but that's neither here nor there, right? We don't know. But at the end of the day, it's probably not because of alcohol. Alcohol is certainly on the downtrend. So yeah, one can probably read between the lines. All right. Thanks again, Rod, for your time heading out for the evening. Cheers, man. Yeah, cheers. All right. Gonna end it there. No, I do have to run, so thank you very much, everybody. Thanks again for joining the live stream. Got close to 50 people still here after almost an hour. I only generally come on for about 30, 40 minutes, and these are typically for POW Group private members only. So I decided to make this one live today based on everything that was going on. And yeah, we'll do another live stream, a public live stream, and we'll do more ticker requests when I have a bit more time. All right. Have a great night. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll catch you on the next one.